Today we're talking all about petitioning for a parent. We're going to discuss who can file the petition, what's the procedure, and some general tips and tricks that might help you along the way. I'm Puyan Darian, here to talk to you about immigration law. With very limited exceptions, almost every U.S. citizen who is over the age of 21 can petition for an immigrant parent. It doesn't matter if that parent is abroad or in the United States, although the answer to that question will determine the way in which we apply for their permanent residence. Generally speaking, the procedure to start this process, regardless of whether it's in the US or at the consulate abroad, is with a family petition, Form I-130, Petition for Alien Relative. But be careful, because if your parents are in the United States, sometimes it's a mistake to just file that form by itself. Sometimes I'll file that form along with the green card application, work permit application, and several other forms, just so that we can get the process rolling so your parents can get their work permit and social security number a little bit in advance while they're waiting for the green card to continue processing. There is one practical consideration that I want to go through with you guys, and I think the easiest way for me to explain this is with an example. So let's say you're a US citizen and you're over age 21 and you're in one of the categories where you can petition for your immigrant parents if they wanted to come to the US. Now, let's say your parents have a tourist visa and at the moment they are actually in the United States. And you meet with me and I explain to you, hey, actually they're here. We can apply for adjustment of status while they're here. Now, while we can often do that, there is an important consideration. Once we apply for adjustment of status and they're here in the United States, they can't leave on their tourist visa again. They'll pretty much have to stay here in the United States until the green card is in their hand, or at least until they have their work permit with advanced parole, which is permission to travel. Although it's not always the safest to travel on that type of status. If they're willing to wait here until the green card is physically in their hands, then this might be a great option. Otherwise, it might be advisable for them to just leave in full compliance with their tourist visa and for us to file a family petition which will eventually be processed at the consulate abroad. This might allow them, in some instances, to continue traveling to the United States on their tourist visa while the family petition is pending. They won't be stuck here without options to leave if they really need to leave during the pendency of the case. A second practical consideration, which I usually explain to people who are considering petitioning for their parents, is that your parents may not actually want to permanently live in the United States. They might just be looking for an easier way to travel back and forth without visa requirements. If that's the case, I really would not apply for a green card, because once your parents get the green card, they have to permanently live in the United States. And if their plan is to spend like 5 months outside of the US, come back for 1 month, and they keep doing this over and over again, as I said in the other video I posted last week, they're going to risk abandoning their green card and they no longer have a visa to enter because they're a permanent resident. So this could actually create barriers to them re-entering in the future if this is actually their game plan. As I tried to explain in this video, petitioning for parents can be complicated in ways in which many people haven't actually considered. I think one of the most important things to do is to work with a lawyer to create a timeline before you actually execute anything. You know, I wouldn't necessarily file a family petition for a parent who's traveling on a visa unless I understand that having a pending family petition can affect the chances of me being allowed to enter the United States with that tourist visa. There are other considerations. Definitely talk to a lawyer. The point of this video was to show you that there are common pitfalls that can be avoided. If you want to talk with me about this, please feel free to call or text my office, or you can book a consultation online. If you're new to this channel, this is all I talk about, immigration law, so be sure to subscribe and I'll see you next week for another video.